Salut tout le monde, c'est moi, Mr. Calvert. I hope that you're all well. You're probably quite used to these videos now because I know a lot of other teachers are using them, but I'm still fairly new, so please don't give me a thumbs down or throw any rotten tomatoes at me or whatever. A couple of things before we get going. First thing, there are lots of activities on these in this lesson, and there are lots of instructions. I will explain certain things, but you are intelligent and independent people. You need to read the slides and you need to read and follow the instructions that are on there as well. I'm not going to explain every single thing in every single detail, and some slides I might move over quite quickly. The other thing, at any point in the video, please feel free to pause. I'll do my best to tell you when you need to pause, because you will need to pause to either do a piece of work, prepare yourself for the next thing, and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be quite a hands-on lesson actually. So yeah, pause at any point. I'll suggest when, but please feel free to pause at any point that you need to. And then the last thing is that the reason that I'm doing this video is because I know that my classes in particular have done a really good job at working with lots of different sound files when I send them. And I'm trying this out because I think it's a good way of having all of the audio in one place rather than having different files. So as I've said, feel free to pause and rewind as and when you need to. Okay. We'll make a start then. So the main focus of this is going to be on your listening skills. That's what we're really aiming for, and that's where me speaking French and using the audio really comes into play. So the whole point of this is for you to start and develop your skills in hearing certain phrases and words in French and then be able to work out what they mean. Now, some of you will do this with a bit of help. We're going to do a lot of work with flashcards today, so that may be the thing that you use. You might need to just check something quickly, and that's absolutely fine. Whereas some of you might start to learn these phrases and start to know them without any extra help and support. They'll just be, firmly lodged in your brain. So you decide the level of support and help that you need. You might think, oh right, for this one I'm going to just check that answer, I'm going to have a look, but then the next time you do it, you'll try and do it without, and that's going to help you develop your long-term memory. Okay, so first activity is really straightforward. You are going to need a timer of some sort. There is a timer on the slide that's coming up, but you can use your phone or your watch or whatever else. So for the first minute, I want you to look at the list of vocabulary. There's a list of 10 things in French, words and phrases, and then the English is just next to them. So try within that minute to memorize as much of it as you can, okay? Once that minute is up, then I need you to cover the English somehow, so hide it, cover it up, do whatever, and then try to write out the English meanings from memory. Okay, so take a look at the slide. You've got the 10 phrases here and then the English phrases down the side. The timer here, if you press on Aller, that will set off the timer, okay, on your version that's on PowerPoint. So if you click that, that'll give you 60 seconds, but it may be just as useful to use your phone as well. It's entirely up to you. I would like you to have a go at this, but 3 times, okay? So could you do this activity 3 times? You're going to do it once, stop, check your answers, do it again, and then each time you do it, you might focus on a different piece of vocabulary. If you already know one of them really well and it's already in your mind, you don't need to keep working on that. Then focus on perhaps 2 or 3 more, and then hopefully after 3 times, you'll have them quite well memorized. The second thing on memorization is this is the second activity, same kind of thing. However, the order on the list has been changed, so it's the same words, but they've just been jumbled up into a different order so that you're not just memorizing the order, you're memorizing the words themselves. And what I'd like you to have a go at this time, this is really hard, and we will do more of this in the next lesson that's coming up. But I'd like you to have a go at trying to write the French from memory. So try and be as accurate as you can with the spelling and just have a go, because this is really tough. It's always really hard when we ask you to write in French. So again, same thing here. First minute, memorize the words as best as you can. Once that is up, the second minute that you'll time yourself, you're going to try and cover the French and then try and write the French from memory as much as possible. So there's your slide you will need it. You can use the time on there if you like. Okay, so this is the next activity that involves, or the first activity that involves listening. So I'm going to read out this list of 10 words and phrases, and all I need you to do is write the number for each word that you hear in the order that I say them in. Okay? So for instance, if I started with on peut, you would write number 1 as your first number on the sequence. Okay? So that isn't the first one. The first one is going to be c'est. Faire des promenades. Prendre le métro. Passionnant. On peut. Aller à un concert. Visiter les musées. Divertissant. Monter la tour Eiffel. Cher. Okay, so there we go. You will get the answers shared with you at some point. We will move on to the next activity. So this one, I'm not going to talk through this. This is just another quick memory test. The words and phrases are there. They're jumbled up. Just give the meanings in English, please. So this is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. So you will need to pause after I've explained this. You're going to need to make your own flashcards using an A4 piece of paper. It can just be a piece of scrap paper. We have done this kind of thing before quite a few times actually. You're going to need 10 pieces of paper, and then once you're done, using the vocabulary from slide 6, you need to write on one side the English and then on the other side the French. Okay, so that should take you a few minutes. So if you pause now and get ready for the next activity. Okay, so again, we've done this kind of thing before. You need to lay out your flashcards the way that they're laid out on this slide here. So you're going to have 2 rows of 3 and then 1 row of 4. What's going to happen is I'm going to read out the 10 words again in French. They need to be in your pieces of paper need to be English side up as well. I'm going to read them out in French, and you need to put them in the correct sequence that I mentioned them in. So the first one that I say will be A, and the second will be B, and so on and so on and so on. So you've got the English side up, you need to be moving them around as I read the items on the list. You will need to pause now to lay your pieces of paper out, and then when you're ready, we will make a start. Okay, so here we go. Monter la tour Eiffel. Passionnant. C'est. Aller à un concert. Faire des promenades. On peut. Visiter les musées. Cher. Divertissant. Prendre le métro. So there we go, there's the first one. Now, the answers are going to come up on here quickly. Again, it's the age-old thing. You're only cheating yourself. Don't just use the answers to cheat. Really, really have a go and try. So we should have your answers in this order. I'm just going to do them quickly because you don't need to check them yourselves. So you don't need to check them using the video. You can check them at the PowerPoint. Okay, sequence number 2, exactly the same thing. I would suggest that you pause now to lay your cards out, your flashcards out again. Same order, English side up, just like this. Okay, so here we go. So this time it's the same thing, just the words are in a different order. Okay, so we will begin with cher. Visiter les musées. Faire des promenades. Monter la tour Eiffel. On peut. C'est. Prendre le métro. Passionnant. Aller à un concert. Divertissant. So again, if you're not quite sure, you might want to pause and do a quick rewind. That's absolutely fine. But the answers are just going to pop up here now, and that should be the order that they appeared in. We're going to do one more round of this. So I would pause now, lay your flashcards out again, English side up, jumble them up this time, and just get ready for the last round of this. So, first one. Faire des promenades. Visiter les musées. Divertissant. Aller à un concert. Passionnant. Prendre le métro. On peut. Monter la tour Eiffel. C'est. Cher. There we are, so that's the last round. Answers very, very quickly. And that's it done. Keep holding your flashcards because we still need them. and we'll move on to this last activity now. So this is just a few rounds of bingo, loto, comme on dit en français. So what I need you to do now is choose 6 of your flashcards, English side up, lay them out in front of you. I would do them in 2 rows of 3. You need to listen to me reading out the words. We're going to play for a full house. That means that you get rid of all of your pieces of paper. We're going to do 5 different rounds of this. I'm just going to read 6 words out each time. So we'll do 1 round. Each time I say one of the words that you've got, you're going to remove that piece of paper from the 6 that you've got in front of you. Hopefully, if you're lucky, you might get rid of all 6 of them. Once we've finished 1 round, we will start again. So you'll start again with 6 pieces of paper and continue from there. So you're not just keeping going all the way through, hoping that you'll get rid of all of them. Each round, you're starting afresh with 6 pieces of paper. You'll probably want to pause between each round just to get yourselves ready. Okay, so I would pause now too to get ready with your 6 pieces of paper, English side up, and we'll make a start with loto. Okay, so this is round 1. So the first one will be on peut, followed by c'est, aller à un concert, visiter les musées, prendre le métro, divertissant. Okay, so that's round 1. Pause now if you want. Get yourself ready for round 2. We're starting again with 6 pieces of paper. Okay? So, first one for round 2. Passionnant. Faire des promenades. C'est. Divertissant. On peut. Cher. Now we've got round 2. So again, see how you've done. You might want to pause for round 3. Get yourself prepared and we will make a start. So round 3. C'est. Visiter les musées. Monter la tour Eiffel. Passionnant. Aller à un concert. Divertissant. So we've got to round 3. See how you got on. Pause and get yourself ready for round 4. And we'll begin now. So round 4. Prendre le métro. Visiter les musées. On peut. Passionnant. Faire des promenades. C'est. There we are, round 4. So again, check how you got on and pause to prepare yourself for the last round, which is round 5, which we will begin now. So round 5, first one is c'est. Cher. Monter la tour Eiffel. Prendre le métro. Faire des promenades. Aller à un concert. Okay, Brill. So let us know how you got on Teams, how well you did, how many you got out of each round, and I hope that you enjoyed that. Just a little bit of a game, just to keep it exciting, if it was exciting. Right, last thing then, so that's absolutely brilliant, well done. Now, keep hold of your flashcards, please, because we will use them next lesson. So just put them somewhere safe, and we will use them. Now, I'd like to spend some time to practice the vocabulary on tiny cards. So if you follow the link, make sure you got your sound on, because they will say that the phrases will be said out loud as well, because remember, we're practicing our listening skills. And work your way through each of the lessons that is on tiny cards there. Excellent, absolument parfait, je vous remercie vraiment et je vous verrai la prochaine fois. Merci.